Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a Form 8K filing from Flotek Industries, the kind of report where companies tell you what happened at their shareholder meeting. Spoiler alert, there were votes, some things got approved, and just maybe the future of the company hangs in the balance, or not. Let's find out. If you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below if you want to chat about this report. This report is dated May 16th, 2025, so it's fairly recent. This is a quick snapshot of what went down at Flotek's annual meeting. It's like the corporate version of a school election, but with potentially bigger consequences. Okay, so what exactly happened at this meeting? Well, Flotek held its annual meeting of shareholders on May 16th, 2025. At the meeting, they did a few important things. First, they elected 6 directors. Think of directors as the company's board of decision makers. Second, they had a vote about the pay for the top executives. This vote is advisory, meaning the company doesn't have to listen, but it's held a shell financial watchdogs, making sure the company's numbers are accurate. Fourth, they approved a change to something called the Flotek Industries Inc. 2018 deals tiers. They elected 6 directors. Think of directors as the company's board of decision makers. Second, they had a vote about the pay for the top executives. This vote is advisory, meaning the company doesn't have to listen, but it's a good way to gauge how shareholders feel. Third, they ratified, which means approved, the appointment of KPMG LLP as their independent auditor for 2025. Auditors are like financial watchdogs, making sure the company's numbers are accurate. Fourth, they approved a change to something called the Flotek Industries Inc. 2012 Employee Stock Purchase Plan. For a total of almost 26 million shares were represented at the meeting, either in person or by proxy, which is about 86.5% of all the shares that were eligible to vote. This tells us there was pretty good shareholder involvement. Now let's break down how the votes went. First up, electing the directors, all 6 candidates were elected. Looking at Matt Wilkes, he got fewer for votes and more against compared to the others, so there was a bit more disagreement there. It's something to keep an eye on because it can mean that some shareholders have doubts about him. Even though he was elected, a significant number of votes against him suggests there might be concerns or different opinions within the shareholder base about his direction or performance. Next, the advisory vote on executive compensation. A large majority, roughly 22.4 million votes, were in favour of the executive pay, compared to around 190,000 against. So most shareholders seem okay with how the top executives are being paid. Then they voted on whether to keep KPMG as the company's auditor. Here's where things get interesting. While about 10.6 million votes were cast in favour, a whopping 15 million abstained. Abstaining is like saying, I don't have an opinion or I don't know enough to vote. A high number of abstentions can signal that shareholders might lack confidence in the auditor or the company's explanation of why they chose that auditor. It could also mean they're just not that interested in the auditor or the company's explanation of why they chose that auditor. It could also mean they're just not that interested in the auditor or the company's explanation of why they chose that auditor. It could also mean they're just not that interested in the auditing process, which is honestly understandable. Moving on, the vote to approve changes to the long-term incentive plan. The vote was overwhelmingly in favour with about 22.3 million for and only 287,000 against. This tells us that shareholders generally agree with how the company is incentivizing its employees over the long haul. Finally, the vote to approve changes to the employee stock purchase plan. Again, the vote was mostly in favour, with approximately 22.4 million for and 167,000 against. Shareholders seem to like the idea of employees owning a piece of the company. Okay, based on these votes, it seems like Flotek's shareholders are mostly on board with the company's direction. But those abstentions on the auditor vote are definitely something to keep an eye on. It could signal a potential problem down the road. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Flotek Industries operates in the oil field services sector. That means they provide equipment and services to oil and gas companies. This industry is known for its ups and downs depending on the price of oil. A possible opportunity is the growing demand for more environmentally friendly oil field practices. If Flotek can develop and offer greener solutions, they could gain a competitive advantage. A notable risk is the fluctuating price of oil. If oil prices drop, oil companies cut back on spending, which hurts Flotek's business. So what's my take on all this? Flotek seems to be sailing along smoothly for now, with shareholders mostly in agreement. The company needs to focus on staying competitive and adapting to changing market conditions, and definitely address those shareholder abstentions regarding the auditor. Alright, that's our breakdown of Flotek's latest filing. What's your take on these votes and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.